Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to Savage Reads. I have read some very interesting books the past week or so, and I'm really excited to talk about them. And let's just jump into the books. So the first book, I actually read it a little while ago and somehow I missed talking about it, but it was a recommendation from Nikki over at Red.Read, so make sure to check out her channel. I will link her down below. So this book was called The Paris Wife by Paula McLean, and it is a fictionalized account of the wife of Ernest Hemingway. And it has its moments of being a cute love story, of being sad, of talking about mental health. It has lots of moments. I don't think I super connected with this book because I just don't think I'm the right audience. I don't have strong feelings about Ernest Hemingway one way or the other. And so I wasn't like, wow, I want to know more about him and more about his life and see it from this different perspective. I'm not sure if her story, as it was presented in the book, was as interesting as I would have liked it to be, unless you were, like really into Ernest Hemingway and wanted to know more about him. So I think if you like historical fiction a lot, and if you like Ernest Hemingway, you may want to give this a try. Like, I thought it was very readable and interesting, but I just don't think I really connected with it on a deeper level. This next book was a recommendation from Shelly Swearingen, and I will make sure to link her channel down below. She always is amazing at talking about books, and I am so glad I picked this up. I picked up Hiroshima by John Hersey. This book is told through the memories of survivors of what happened in Hiroshima after the first atom bomb was dropped in 1945. This is an interesting book to rate. I gave it 5 stars. I think everyone should read it, but it does feel a little weird to try to rate these people's experiences and memories just based on the writing and putting it together. Really well done. I thought that it really gave a more human perspective to the tragedy and to the events of that day and what came after. I love a good David Sedaris book, and I just read one recently and talked about it in a video, and AJ Dunn over at AJ Dunn Reads and Writes suggested that I pick up Barrel Fever because they said it was one of their favorites. So I picked up this collection of stories and essays. And if you like David Sedaris, I think you'll like this collection as well. I found myself a little bit frustrated at first because the first 3/4 of the book are his fictional short stories, and while I think those are fun, I really love his personal essays. And I was like, oh, is this whole book just the fictional stories? I was hoping to have some personal essays thrown in, and it's just a formatting issue. The first 3/4 are the stories, and then the last quarter are all of his personal essays. And so I thought it was well done. Great. It's another David Sedaris. If you like him, you'll like it. You'll like it. Now, do I think this is the one to start with? I still think Me Talk Pretty One Day might be the one to start with. My one piece of advice, if you're going to start in on David Sedaris and think you might read quite a few of his books, he has a book entitled The Best of Me, and it is a collection of his best short stories and essays. Just skip that one, because I'm always annoyed when I pick up one of his older works, for example, this book, and I'd already read about half of what was in it because it was in that collection. And so it's a little annoying. Do I feel bad that I read them again? No, they're entertaining. Audrey over at Audrey Approved recommended the book Veritas, a Harvard professor, a con man, and the Gospel of Jesus' Wife by Ariel Sabar. And this was a wild ride. So, okay, going into this is the expectations I had for this book, because I didn't know what had happened before reading this. I didn't really know much about this. I kind of know about the Da Vinci Code. That's about it. Okay, so going into this book, my expectations were, okay, so it's gonna be like, we talk about some of the maybe historical significance and doctrinal significance of maybe the idea that Jesus had a wife, and then we'll kind of go into forgeries and talk about how to detect them and how this maybe scrap of something was detected as a forgery. I got that from the title, you know, a Harvard professor, okay, talking about religion. A con man, okay, so something's a fake. Gospel of Jesus' wife, okay, topic. That's what I knew about this going in. And yes, it does all of those things. But I found myself so just shocked at the twists and turns in this book. And I don't really know why. When I look back on it, none of it seems all that surprising, but I think it was the way that this author pulled it together. This is a piece of investigative journalism, and the author's going and trying to solve what happened, who's doing what, and the author's really put a lot of work and effort into it. So we're kind of learning about the things as the author does, and the way that it's set up is it doesn't feel like a chronological order of things. It's not, the con man was born and this happened to him, which made him want to be a con man, and then this is how it affected his life growing up, and this is why he became a con man. You know, like, we didn't get that linear perspective. Instead, we get, oh, well, maybe it's true. Here's some different historical things, and this is the man, and we know him. But this is what's going on in his personal life. And then we work backward from there. So crazy. From a biblical standpoint, I thought the discussion of Jesus having a wife is super interesting. Like, I think that's such a cool idea, and yeah, that makes sense. But then you also get the Harvard professor and her like strange relationship with the truth, and the con man and his relationship with the truth, and how to detect forgeries, and kind of like this true crime investigation kind of thing, and who learned their lesson and who didn't. I really liked this. I was surprised. I didn't really know what I was getting into, and I thought that it was not only interesting, but at times just like jaw-dropping. What? That happened next? I can't believe it. I have no reason to be surprised because the title of the book basically gives it all away, but the details were just wild to me. I enjoyed it a lot. Super fun. Highly recommend this book. So I hope you enjoyed this quick wrap up. It was 2 more 5-star reads, which is excellent for me. I mean, I went a couple months without getting many, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 all my books are awesome. So thank you for the recommendations, everyone. And if you have thoughts on these books, if you have read these books, let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you think, good or bad. And I will see you all on the next one.